The Boys is one of the more unique superhero shows available to watch right now. The blend of tight character writing, excellent satire and a gripping story are enough to make it one of Amazon Prime's most lucrative IPs. If you finish watching this one or are in the middle of a binge watch, we've combed through the archives and saved you the hassle with our top 7 picks for alternate viewing. As always, let us know your favourites in the comments and which of these you've watched. So without further ado, let's start the countdown. Happy has no reason to be as good as it is. The basic premise revolves around an injured hitman who awakens in an ambulance and can suddenly see his daughter's imaginary friend, which happens to be an innocent flying unicorn. The premise is suitably ridiculous, but the execution is anything but. With 2 seasons to get through, Happy balances some well-written action sequences with a perfect dose of dark comedy and satire. The result is something that sees everything from dabbing blood-spatters corpses to S&M wearing maniacs. It's a heck of a good time and one of the more unusual and creative uses of an action-orientated hero series. Doom Patrol is one of the quirkiest superhero shows out there, and much like The Boys, changed the game when it came to thinking outside the box. While The Boys plays on satirical stereotypes a lot more, Doom Patrol instead leans into its absurdity. The characters are interesting, with multiple issues that manifest across the 4 seasons. The team have their own problems to contend with too, and that's explored across the show's 4 season arcs. Although the later seasons do lose a bit of pizzazz, there's enough here to recommend all the same. It's important to make the distinction here that only season 1 of Heroes bears much semblance to The Boys. While the heroes, no pun intended, in this series don't wear capes and show off their powers, it is one of the better examples of character writing and creating believable heroes in the modern day world. Serving as an origin story, Heroes manages to take the superhero ideas onto the small screen in a really compelling way. The characters are well written, given some decent screen time, and the extended runtime is enough to flesh everyone out and build up to a climactic showdown at the end. Unfortunately, season 2 onwards sees a sharp decline in quality, so your mileage with this may vary. Violent, gritty, and featuring some seriously well choreographed fights, The Punisher is a brutal Marvel series. It does suffer from the usual baggage that comes with a lot of these Netflix offerings, especially in runtime, but the action more than makes up for it. The story is simple and revolves around a man named Frank Castle, who sets out to avenge his murdered family. With a military background, a no-nonsense attitude and plenty of action, The Punisher earns his lucrative title. With 2 seasons to get through, The Punisher offers a fair amount of bang for your buck. Gen V is the latest spin-off series to The Boys, exploring the first generation of superheroes to know that their powers are from Compound V. These heroes put their physical and moral boundaries to the test, competing for the school's top ranking. As a result, chaos ensues. While not quite as satirical and hard-hitting as its older brother, Gen V still packs a punch, and given it takes place in the same universe, makes it an easy recommendation. This should whet the appetite for anyone looking for similar shows to The Boys. Based on the comic book series of the same name, Preacher is a well-written, bloody, violent romp that's certainly worth checking out. The basic premise revolves around a preacher enlisting the help of a vampire and his ex to find God. Only the story goes so much deeper than that, and across the 4 seasons really comes into its own. I won't spoil anything here, but fans of The Boys will absolutely be taken with both the characters and the violence. If you haven't already, you should absolutely add this to your watch list. Much like The Boys, Banshee is a show that completely catches you off guard. With a great storyline and an inspired Anthony Starr in the driving seat, Banshee is one of those underrated gems you just can't miss. The story revolves around an ex-con assuming the identity of a murdered sheriff, but as the narrative progresses, so too does the main premise of the show. I won't spoil anything here, but Banshee is certainly worth a watch, and with 4 seasons to boast, this one's sure to keep you busy for a while. So there we have it, our 7 TV show picks to keep you busy when you finish watching The Boys. So what did you think of our picks? Do you agree? Are there any notable omissions? Or do you think we're way off the mark? Either way, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.